it's me Alex. Today I'm going to do a YouTube made me buy it eyeshadow edition because there are other things in my makeup collection that YouTube has made me buy, but let's be honest, most of it is eyeshadow because I love eyeshadow and I will look for any excuse to buy more of it. So I have several eyeshadow palettes and singles that I'm going to be talking about that various people on this here internet have made me buy. I mean, they weren't like holding a gun to my head and or a knife to my throat, you know, just being like on the JD Glow website, like, buy it, bitch. But like, you know, pressure, peer pressure, like, you know what I mean. I have a whole bunch of eyeshadow over here that I'm going to talk about that like I bought based off of the recommendations of people that I enjoy on this internet, and you all know what a YouTube made me buy it is. Why am I talking this much? I also want to very much acknowledge my earrings, my pronoun earrings that my roommate got me, and they and them. I love it so much. Let's actually get into the content of the video. Okay, I'm gonna start with the single shadows. Now, this little Z palette here is, I do have another Z palette of single shadows here, so that I'm gonna share both. But this first one has, I'm gonna begin with this side right here. That is because those are some JD Glow shadows. As I mentioned in the imagining people on the internet holding a knife to my throat and telling me to press checkout. I have two of their Galaxy shadows and two of their Multichromes. You will have actually seen me use this one in my previous video, not use, but wear. Why did I not buy from this brand sooner? I am struggling a little bit with the Galaxy shadows, but that's because I really haven't played with them as much as I have played with the Multichromes. This is honestly one of my most recent purchases. So there's that. The Galaxy shadows are very, very, very sparkly in a way that I have never encountered before. So I also do need to mention who specifically made me buy it. Let's see, Emily Han, Lacey of Spooky Lips and Fat Hips, Abby Williamson, Teresa's Dead. Basically every human being I ever watch on YouTube is just like JD Glow shadows, and I'm like, okay, I'm susceptible to peer pressure. So I bought them. And this is also one of the brands that I really wanted to try this year, and I think it turned out pretty damn good. So the other single shadows in this palette, aside from like these two, I think, I'm not sure about this one either, but like these, the little like 6 right here, are all from Devinah Cosmetics. These are stuff that I've collected over the years, and I don't know why I have them, but they all kind of look good together. But these are all from Devinah Cosmetics, and I think it was Angelica Nyqvist who kind of officially was like she didn't talk to me personally and was like, buy the Devinah Shadows, but I watched enough of her videos where she was showing off Devinah Shadows, and I was like, fuck yeah, I would like to buy me some of those. And I haven't used these in a while because I was trying to kind of dupe the vibes of the Melt Gemini palette, and I think I did a pretty decent job, but now I actually have the Melt Gemini palette, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. I think that the Devinah eyeshadow formula is actually super great. Everyone talks about their shimmers and like they're fine, but I think it's really the mattes where they shine, but I love a really like good powdery matte. Like, these aren't as powdery as like Igneous Cosmetics, but these are as powdery as like Anastasia Beverly Hills. And that is a sort of matte formula that I really like. And I like that I can find an ABH style matte formula without actually having to give Norvina my money. So this was a good YouTube made me buy it. And for my other palette of single shadows, I have from 2 more brands. The top 2 ones are from Sugarpill, and this is one that I can't really even point to anyone specifically convincing me that I needed to buy this. It's more that over the years, like, I feel like everyone has owned a Sugarpill Pro palette at some point, and I've never quite bought one because like that's a lot of dollars. And so I bought Buttercup Cake and Arsenic right here. And I've only really used Butter Cupcake, but it's quite good. Like, I caught these on a sale because I wasn't about to pay like $10 for a matte eyeshadow. But I do think that these are pretty good if you can catch them on a sale. I think that there are other like You can probably find other eyeshadows that are comparable, but these are as good as people say they are. I think it's because I am very much into the indie eyeshadow realm that I'm not like, oh my gosh, these are the best thing ever, you absolutely need them, because I have encountered a lot of very good indie matte formulas, hence like me raving about Devinah just there. I think it's great, and if you want to get it, but it's not a necessity, you know, but it's not bad. They're really good, and I'm going to continue using them. And the other three that are in there are something that Butte Bean actually really like made me absolutely fall for these, and this is the Shroud Cosmetics Moonfall Trio. And these eyeshadows bring me so much joy. They're just this very beautiful kind of grungy jewel tone metallic, which is just about everything that I would go for. I saw that she had gotten that collection as well as some of their other single shadows, and I had to have the self-control and only buy these. I wanted to buy all of the shadows that she was showing in her video, but she's also someone who I really do trust with eyeshadow recommendations, because just about everything that I've ever tried that she has recommended, I've always ended up really liking. So these were so beautiful, and I want to incorporate these into more looks. I just have so much eyeshadow. I have problems. Okay, now I'm going to move on to a quad that actually Abby Williamson, I saw her talking about it in a favorites video, and it was something that I was interested in, but I wasn't sure, like, should I pull the trigger? Should I absolutely get this? But then I saw her talk about it in a favorites video, and I was like, okay, yes, absolutely. And this is the Midas Cosmetics Green Tea Macchiato palette. I actually ended up getting all of the ones that don't have pressed glitters in it. I've since decluttered the raspberry one to my roommate just because they would get a lot more use out of it than I would. And I actually really like the pumpkin spice one too, but this one was a very direct influence from Abby Williamson, because this is like such a nice little color scheme. This is very good for, not gonna say for travel because I don't go anywhere, but I think that this was a great influence and a great purchase. Like, she was just talking about, like, you know, it's really easy to get a nice little eye look that, like, it's a quad, it's only 4 shadows, but anything you get out of this, it's really not going to be that complicated, and it's always going to look good. I like it. It's great. I should learn how to talk better in videos. Okay, so now I'm going to get into a couple of palettes from the same brand, and both of them I can't really put any sort of like specific person that influenced me to buy these. It was more like, okay, everyone on the internet likes this, I've been eyeing this for long enough, let me hit add to cart. The first one is a Melt Cosmetics Muerte palette. And I was very skeptical about this one, as you know, because I've talked about this palette for a million times before, because I do have the Melt Radioactive palette, which is like, the bright shades in there are good, but there were some very big disappointments in that palette too, so it's like, can I trust Melt to do a color scheme like this? And absolutely I can. I know I saw Butte Bean's video using this and I was like, okay, maybe this might be something to buy. And I know Raw Beauty Christie did a video. I've seen so many people use this palette and this collection in general, but this one definitely appealed to me more than the Vita palette, just because I like the darks and the smokies rather than the brights. It was expensive. This was a very expensive palette purchase, but it was absolutely worth it. And then the other one from Melt that was also, I can't pinpoint one person to it, just like a lot of collective peer pressure from everyone I've enjoyed on the internet, and that is the Melt Gemini palette. This one is a lot more of a recent purchase. I got this for myself for my graduation gift to myself. Like, I mean, I mentioned this before when I was talking about the Devinah Shadows, and I tried to dupe it because I was very interested in it, but I like wasn't entirely sure I wanted to bite the bullet on it. And I did. How do show things. And I think I did a decent job of that. In retrospect, that one green is a little bit more cool toned and foresty than what you would see in the palette. But I think I did an overall good job. But I'm really happy that I got this because I think this was, let's see, Julia Adams. Abby Williamson, you know, the usual suspects. I mean, everyone lost their shit when this palette came out, so of course I got it eventually. It was on a sale. Melt just happened to have a sale on the same, like, weekend as my graduation, so I was weak and I bought this and a lipstick. So it's actually quite good, because I think what kind of officially convinced me to actually buy it instead of, like, going with the grungy greens in my collection was the fact that I have actually warmed up to some warm tone neutrals recently, and I think the neutrals in this palette are very unique and interesting in comparison to a lot of the other neutrals that I've experienced throughout my life. Like, this is very, yes, you can get like a natural-ish look out of this, but it also can lean itself into a very, very grungy type look, and I like that a lot. So peer pressure got to me, but I am very happy with this purchase. Okay, so this one is a direct influence from Mia's Virtual Vanity, because if you have watched any of her videos, you know that that lady loves some Nabla shadows, and so I bought the Dreamy 2 palette. And it looks like this. I've been thinking this year, I'm like, 2020 is gonna be the year that I finally try a Nabla palette. And I had originally wanted just like the original Dreamy, but that wasn't available on Ulta. It is now that I've already bought this one, but I was like, okay, whatever. You know, this one is the one that's available on Ulta that had the like closest color scheme to what I was looking for. And I was a little bit skeptical about it because this color scheme is gorgeous, but it really isn't kind of the style of makeup that I regularly do. I like to do, you know, mattes with corresponding shimmers in like a similar tone, whereas a lot of like, you know, they have like some warm tone mattes in here and some more like purpley shimmers. But once I got this and really played around with it, it just made me look at makeup in a very different way, and it allowed me to have a little bit more creativity in color theory, and the formula, it is exactly what everyone raves about because it goes on so incredibly smoothly. I think that this is one of the matte formulas especially where I've been so impressed because I really barely have to blend these shades. So this can come out with a very, like, you can spend your time blending and being very precise, but you can do something very blown out and smoky just very easily and you look really good. Like, you don't have to put a lot of effort into this. I'm also really impressed by the shade Offline because it looks like a black in the pan, but it actually comes out to be a super cute eggplant shade. So, Mia, you got me good on this one. Okay, and this last palette is actually my most recent purchase, and this has been influenced by Emily Han, Audra at Home, Kara C. I mean, honestly, I know that everyone who has this palette really likes it, and that is the Colored Raine Vivid Pigments palette. So I have played with this about 2 or 3 times since I got it. It is the most recent purchase that I got. I got it like last week. But I immediately dove into it because look at this. It is beautiful. I have played around mostly with like the purples and the pinks, like the pinks and reds in this, and I am so thoroughly impressed. These shades are very, very vibrant and they blend really nicely into one another. Like, this purple gradient works so well together. I especially love, like, I've paired it a couple times with the JD Glow Multichromes, and that has just, oh, it is so lovely. It is so beautiful. I'm not someone who needs like 100 rainbow palettes, but I'm really happy I got this one. I think that this is going to give me a few really good Pride looks this year. This Saturday, I'm doing like a little Pride get ready with me with my old college, and so I'm super excited about that, and I think I'm going to use this one to make some lovely, lovely rainbows. What I really want to try this yellow because I've heard that it is like the best yellow, so I'll see if this knocks out Sugarpill Buttercup Cake, you know, the icon, if you will. And I got this on a sale and it was very good and I love it very much even though I've only tried it twice. Alright y'all, that is it for this video. Let me know down below what eyeshadow YouTube has influenced you to buy. I would love to know. And thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe down below if you want to see more videos from me, and I will see y'all in my next one. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Bye!